Hi, children. In our daily lives, we come across many situations where we need to separate substances from a mixture. First of all, we should know what is a mixture. A mixture is made up of two or more than two components. The components can be either solid, liquid, or gas. You must have seen your mother separating stones from pulses. Similarly, tea leaves are separated from liquid using a strainer. In all these examples, a separation is done. Why? In our everyday life, we call various substances pure, like pure honey, pure water, and pure silk or wool. Pure means not mixed with anything else. So, separation is done to obtain pure substances, to obtain useful components, to remove unwanted or undesirable substances, to know the proportion of the components of a mixture. So, the separation is done to remove the harmful substances, the unwanted substances, to get the pure form and the useful components. Let's see the various methods of separation. In this picture, you can see three categories. The first one is separation of solid substances from other solids. That means both the components of a mixture are solids. The second one, the separation of insoluble solid substances from liquids. That means solid mixed with liquids. The third one, separation of solid substances from liquids. That means the substance which can be dissolved in water. So let's see the first one, separation of solid substances from other solids. So here we have sieving, hand picking, threshing, and winnowing. So the first one is sieving. We may wish to prepare a dish with flour. We need to remove impurities and bran that may be present in it. What do we do, children? We use a sieve and pour the flour into it. So sieving allows the fine flour particles to pass through the holes of the sieve while the bigger impurities remain on the sieve. In a flour mill, impurities like husk and stones are removed from wheat before grinding it. Usually, a bag full wheat is poured on a slanting sieve. The sieving removes pieces of stones, stalk, and husk that may still remain with wheat after threshing and winnowing. So, if the components of a mixture of different sizes, they can be separated by sieving. You may have also noticed similar sieves using at the construction sites to separate pebbles and stones from sand. So the method of separating the components of different sizes in a mixture using a sieve is called sieving. The next method is the hand picking. Rice, wheat, pulses, etc. that we buy from the market may contain impurities in the form of small stones, unwanted grains, etc. Often these impurities look very different from the food item and can be spotted easily. So the method of separation used in this case is hand picking. This method is preferred when the quantity of the mixture is small, the unwanted substance is present in the smaller quantities, and the size, shape, or color of the unwanted substance is different from that of the useful one. So, the method of removing unwanted substances from a mixture using hands is called hand picking. The next process is threshing. You must have seen bundles of wheat or paddy stalks lying in the field after harvesting the crop. Stalks are dried in the sun before the grains is separated from them. Each stalk has many grain seeds attached to it. Imagine the number of grain seeds in hundreds of bundles of stalk lying in the field. How does the farmer separate grain seeds from those bundles of stalks? One may pluck mangoes or guavas from the trees, but grain seeds are much smaller than mangoes or guavas, so plucking them from their stalks would be impossible. How does one separate grain seeds from their stalks? The process that is used to separate grains from the stalks is called threshing. In this process, the stalks are beaten to free the grain seeds. Sometimes the threshing is done with the help of bullocks. Sometimes the machines are also used in large quantities to thresh it. So, the process of beating harvested crops to separate the grains from the stalk is called threshing. The next one is winnowing. Make a mixture of dry sand with the sawdust or powdered dry leaves. Keep this mixture on a plate or a newspaper. Look at this mixture carefully. Can the two different components be made out of easily? Are the sizes of the particles two components similar? Would it be possible to separate the components by hand picking? Now, take your mixture to an open ground and stand on a raised platform. Put the mixture in a plate or sheet of paper. Hold the plate or a sheet of paper containing the mixture at your shoulder height. Tilt it slightly so that the mixture slides out slowly. What happens? Do both the components sand and sawdust fall at the same place? This method of separating components of a mixture is called winnowing. Winnowing is used to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by wind or blowing air. The next separation is the separation of insoluble solid substances from liquids. For example, sand and water. If we have the sand and water, the mixture of sand and water, how we will separate? Sometimes it may not be possible separate components of a mixture by winnowing or hand picking. So in that case, how we are going to separate it? So the first process is sedimentation, decantation, and then filtration. The first one, sedimentation. Rice or pulses are usually washed before cooking. When you add water to these impurities, like dust particles get separated. These impurities go into water. Now, what will sink to the bottom of the vessel? Rice or dust? Why? Have you seen that the vessel is tilted to pour out the dirty water? When the heavier component in a mixture settles after water is added to it, the process is called sedimentation. In this picture, you can see the sand particles are mixed with water. The first picture, when we allow this mixture to settle, so here the solid particle, that means the sand particles, get settled down. So this process is called sedimentation. Now the next one, decantation. When the water along with the dust is removed, the process is called decantation. So here in this you see in that orange color it shows the sediment. The blue color shows the water. The water is decanted from one beaker to another beaker slowly without disturbing the sediment. So in the same way, we can obtain the clear water from the muddy water. So when we are separating the clear water from the muddy water, we use the three processes. One is sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. So, what is meant by filtration? The process by which two substances are separated by passing through the mixture through a filtering device is called filtration. The filtration is commonly done in our homes. For example, after preparing tea, we filter out the tea leaves using a strainer. Filtration is also done to remove pulp from the fresh fruit juice. The water may also contain solid impurities, which can be removed by filtration. So let's see how this filtration is done. For this, a filter paper is used. A filter paper is one such filter that has very fine pores in it. A filter paper is folded in the form of a cone and fixed on the funnel. In this picture you can see a funnel is kept. Inside the funnel, the filter paper cone is kept. Now the mixture is then poured on the filter paper. The solid particles in the mixture do not pass through it and remain on the filter. So in the filtration is the process by which an insoluble solid and a liquid are separated by passing the mixture through a filter. Now the next one is the separation of soluble substances from liquids. The first process is evaporation. What is meant by evaporation? The process of conversion of water into vapor is called evaporation. So in the evaporation, when we heat the liquid, that means salty water, if you boil, the water will be evaporated and the solid salt will be settled in the vessel. So the process of conversion of water into vapor is called evaporation. So what is meant by condensation? The condensation is the reverse process of evaporation. The process of conversion of water vapor into its liquid form is called condensation. So these two processes are used in separating the soluble substances from liquids. Now, where do you think salt comes from? The seawater contains many salts mixed in it. One of these salts is the common salt. When seawater is allowed to stand in shallow pits, water gets heated by sunlight and slowly turns into water vapor. Through evaporation, in few days the water evaporates completely, leaving behind the solid salts. The common salt is then obtained from this mixture by salts by further purification. Now the next topic is water, a universal solvent. See, water is called universal solvent. Why? Because it can dissolve many things in it. When a substance is dissolved in water, it is called solution. The substance that dissolved in water, it's called a solute. The liquid in which the solute is dissolved is called the solvent. In this picture you can see sugar is a solute, water is a solvent, and when sugar and water mix with each other, we get a sugar solution. But when sand is mixed with water, you know that they do not mix with each other. So we do not get any solution. Now, what will happen if you go on adding more and more of these substances to a fixed quantity of water? For example, if you take a beaker and add a few spoons of salt and stir it. So, in the beginning, they dissolve. But if you go on adding the salt into this glass, they do not dissolve. means in certain level the no more salt can be dissolved in the amount of water we have taken. So that solution is called saturated solution. So the solution is saturated when no more of the solute can be dissolved. But a solution that can dissolve more and more solute is called unsaturated solution. So children, what we have discussed in this lesson? We have discussed why separation is done and what are the various methods of separation and how the saturated solutions are prepared. Your assignment questions are as follows. Why separation of the substance is done? Mention various methods of separation. When can handpicking be done? Explain how insoluble substances are separated from a liquid. Define solvent, solute and solution. Thank you.